Hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on today's video I'm going to introduce you to the IkonArt Custom Stencil Maker. I'm going to tell you just the huge variety of things that you can do with it. I have a bunch of projects to show you. I made some new custom stencils today that I'll show you, and they're pretty cool. And in just a second, I'll hop over and put the information, I'll pin it for the IkonArt Custom Stencil Maker. So get ready because I have a lot of good information and so many amazing projects to share with you. Okay, so this is what it looks like, but this is just the box. The actual gadget, let me move this. I'll put it right here. The actual gadget is over here. Do you see that little thing? It's a black light, I guess. And when you expose this special film, stencil film to it, it takes away part of it, okay? It's hard to explain. And just like I'm not great with technology, I'm also not great with science. But here's the thing, if I can figure this out, do it my way, make some super cool things, you probably can too, even if you're not, you know, computer savvy or great with technology. Okay, so first of all, why would you want a custom stencil maker? Well, sometimes there's just a specific stencil that you really want that none of the stencil companies offer because it's too niche. And they have to make their stencils in huge quantities, you know? So sometimes I have something specific in mind that I just cannot find anywhere else, and I decide to make it myself. So today I took from my my little book of hymns that a follower sent me, I made a stencil that is this song, The Old Rugged Cross. Oh. And I made a stencil that's this one, Blessed Redeemer. And if I had a voice, a good singing voice, if God had blessed me with that, I would be singing this because I have been humming this all afternoon, okay? So I have some projects in mind that I want to do with these two hymns for Easter because these are well-known Easter hymns. And obviously I couldn't find a stencil. So I just decided to make my own. And also one of the nice things about this custom stencil maker is that you can increase the size. So you can, you know, make it to whatever scale you want. So let me show you what I did. I'm going to explain the process. Stay with me because you want to see these projects. Oh my gosh. I made the sweetest projects with my mother-in-law's Suzanne's garlic soup, and also with some amazing little sketches that she did of her kids when they were young. It's just absolutely precious. She was an artist for sure. Okay, so this one, Blessed Assurance. I took this to my photocopy machine. I copied it on black and white, and because I wanted the stencil to be almost a full-size piece of paper, I increased the size of it by 136%, and then I just printed it in black and white, and this is what I got. So this is what this turned into, okay? Then I took this and I made the little film, okay? So all you do to do the next step is you insert the special film that you're gonna get if you decide you can't live without one of these custom IkonArt stencil makers. And I made a photocopy, a black and white photocopy, and this is what I got. So this is my film. And then the next step was, over here on my little gadget, I laid a piece of the blue stencil material on it with my little film on top, and I turned it on, exposed it for 35 seconds. Boom, you're done, pretty much. So then I learned a new trick, which if you've watched any of my videos on this IkonArt Custom Stencil Maker, I didn't know this until just recently. What I did before I went to my sink to wash it out is I put it in a tub of warm water for about 10 minutes. And that made it so it was so much easier to wash out, and the quality is just amazing. I can't believe it. So I did this one. This is a stencil, and it's on a piece of this is what the backing looks like. It's clear. And the stencil film is blue. They also have purple, which is meant more for stenciling on t-shirts and stuff. But either one, the purple or the blue, are both awesome. I've used both of them. Okay, so then I made, and I have a bunch of these, and I'm sorry I'm rambling. Oh, and I didn't put the information here. Let me find my post. You can hop over to this website, and there's all kinds of information, and they have pin comment. Okay, they IkonArt also has free images that you can get over there that you can use to make stencils, and just a lot of ideas and all the technical everything. Because let me tell you this, if you are good with technology, you can do stuff on your computer that you wouldn't believe, and then make incredible, super duper stencils from the things that you do on your computer. But I can only operate an iPad and a photocopy machine. So, and I can buy images from people on Etsy. That's about as sophisticated as I get, and I have done so many cool projects. So I made the Blessed Assurance one, or no, yeah. And then I made the Old Rugged Cross. And I've already used this. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in just a minute. These are both still a little wet because I just finished washing them out. Okay, let me tell you one other thing. So after you expose it for 35 seconds, then you're gonna wash it out. And what happens essentially is that the part where your film was dark, those wash away. Okay, so can you see the holes? And this is pretty detailed. I mean, it's a good quality stencil that's reusable many, many times. Okay, so after I washed it out and had it dry, then I exposed it a second time in my little gadget over here for about 2 minutes, and that just makes the stencils even more durable, okay? So this started like this, and then I did 136% and I photocopied it on black, and then I made my film, and then I made my stencil. And if that sounds complicated, please don't think that it is, because it seriously is not complicated. Okay, so I have a bunch of things that I want to make with these stencils, and I was just playing around, and this is the first thing that I made. I have stuff from my son's wedding that I made. I have all this family memorabilia. So look how good that stencil is. The Old Rugged Cross, and my plan is I might have to do a new one because I don't really like the placement. You know, sometimes you just have to experiment. So Magnolia has this awesome cross that I want to put over the top of it. So I probably will make a new board, a canvas, and place my stencil a little differently. But you guys, look at that. You can read all the words, everything. So, so that is my plan for that one. And that's kind of what I have in mind for the other one too. Okay. So, let's just meander a little bit longer before I show you some of this other stuff. Okay, so when you get a kit, if you decide that you can't live without it, and a lot of people do kind of decide that, if you do decide that you want a kit, if you use my code, which is, guess what, DiyDreaming, all smushed together, and you put that in towards the end, then they give you 15% off, which is around $30 for just the basic kit. And then anytime you want to order more supplies, if you use my code DiyDreaming, they continue to give you that 15% off. So that's super nice. But in your kit, you would get a package. This is the blue stencil stuff. And it's in one of these bags that is protected because it's super light sensitive. So when I made my stencils, I closed the blinds in here and I turned off the lights. You know, it wasn't pitch dark, but just to avoid exposing anything to light. So you'll get a package like this and it's all sealed. And then you'll also get a package of the film. You'll get two actually. One is inkjet and one is laser print. And because people have different things, okay? So those come in your kit. And yeah, okay, so let me show you a few of the things that I've made. Last year, I was really doing that whole carrot thing. Did you guys see my video? I think it was yesterday or the day before where I showed you all of the scrunched paper, what did I call them? Wonky paper towel tube carrots and my pillow and my banner and everything. Well, I wanted to make some tea towels and do some other things. So I just went to Pinterest. I'm going to tell you the steps. And if you want to do this idea too, because you're not super technical, you can just come back and watch this on replay and take notes. I went to Pinterest and I searched for carrots drying or carrots SVG. I don't know what that even means, but it's like an image, okay? And it took me to this person on Etsy who did all these illustrations and things. And I bought this image for about $3 from someone on Etsy. Then I just fiddled around. I printed it on printer paper, fiddled around with the size till I got it what I wanted. And then I made a film and then I made the stencil. This is the stencil. Okay? And just a day ago, I think, I used it again after it's been sitting for a year in my drawer. I used it again and I made this. And this, by the way, is that pumpkin, what is it called? Pumpkin pie orange ink. And those two colors, the magnolia green and the emerald. And I absolutely love these colors. Isn't that amazing? Let's see, did I pull out the, I have one in my box from last year that I'll show you too. Okay, so after a year of sitting, I mean, I used this a few times last year and then I used it again. The other thing I did just yesterday or the day before was I made this tea towel. I was talking to you guys about how I want to, you know, do a little decorating for St. Patrick's Day. However, I don't believe in luck. I just believe in God's favor, God's blessings, His provision for us. So I didn't want to do all the luck stuff. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It just is my personal preference. So I made a stencil last year. Well, first of all, I searched for, on Pinterest, for shamrock images, and I got this image here that's like a distressed shamrock, and it came with two smaller shamrocks that are distressed. Oops, where's the back to this? These, by the way, are sticky and they're reusable, just like the other stencils that I often work with. Okay, so I purchased the image, then I fiddled around on my copy machine to get the size I wanted. We're super technical here. Stay with me because I have good stuff to show you. If you can't watch the whole thing, fast forward to the end because you want to see the projects that I did. Seriously, you're gonna die. Well, you probably won't die, but you're gonna be amazed. Okay, so then I made these stencils last year and I just pulled them back out after I made a bunch of stuff with them last year. After they've been sitting for a year, I pulled these out and I made this tea towel. And last year, this is what I made with it. And I made a sign too, which I'm not sure where that is right now. I like this year's better because I like the combination of greens. Okay, and so I purchased the images, the shamrock images, and then I just used a silly little program that I have that's called, I think it was Fonto, P-H-O-N-T-O. It's an app that I have on my iPad, and that's what I use to label all my pictures, DIY Dreaming with Hiedi Scott. And I used this party font, and I made another stencil, which I've cut into 2 pieces. That I just designed this myself, fiddled around with the size. Not lucky, just blessed. James 1:17. So I could not find a stencil that said not lucky, just blessed, so I made it. I mean, that's a perfect example of an instance where you just can't find what you want, and so you can make it, which is awesome. Okay, so I also last year did a bunny. I'm not sure, maybe we'll find the bunny stuff. I did a lot of different stencils, oh my gosh. I'll show you a few. And I want to get in my box. Anyways, I have a whole pile. A whole pile of stencils that I've made. A lot of them I made for my son's wedding. Let me find that. Okay, because they wanted their verse for their wedding to be this one. Ecclesiastes 4:12. And of course I couldn't find a stencil or different size stencils that would work. So I made it. I purchased this design, and then I used that Fonto to create the words. And it says a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Ecclesiastes 4:12. And that's referring to the married couple, the man and the wife, and then Jesus. He's the 3rd partner in every marriage. And so I did that. I did some stuff with that, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I made just some smaller stencils of this cross. Oh my word. And I was helping the bride's mother make gifts for everyone who was traveling to the wedding. Oh my word. So I etched like 100 of these glasses, which was so super easy. You just put your stencil on, push it down, and use etching cream. Can you see that? I also made a whole bunch of this for the guys. These are just Dollar Tree beer mugs or beer steins or whatever. And we saved a bunch of them for my kids, for Noah and Christian when they're older. Okay, so that is an example of what you can do. Oh, and I did the cutest thing, which it's in here. I'll show it to you in just a second. Oh. I've made lots of Bible verse stuff, specific verses that I wanted. Okay, so let's get in my box for a second. One time I made glasses for all of my community group with everybody's names on it. Okay, so this is my box, and this is where I store all my good stuff. Okay, so one of the things that I'm gonna just stand to the side, that I really, really wanted to do was I wanted to make a tea towel out of this recipe that my mother, she's passed now, but she was a sweetheart. She was eccentric. They were world travelers. She was just a unique person. And my undergraduate degree in college, in case you didn't know, before I went to law school, was French. I love foreign languages. I love travel. So my French is terrible today, but it was pretty decent way back when. Anyways, so she made me this recipe from a French cookbook that she had that was Cézanne's garlic soup. Look, isn't that sweet? And it's on this pretty little piece of paper, front and back, in her sweet handwriting. So I wanted to make a tea towel. And all I did was take a black and white photocopy of this, make the film, then make the stencil. This is the actual stencil. It's hard to see. And I made this. And I also made a breadboard. Isn't that sweet? So that's some of the kind of heirloom stuff that you can do. Also, excuse me, also, my mother-in-law was an amazing artist, you guys. And every year she would hand draw these darling sketches of her kids as their Christmas card. I mean, so quaint. Okay, so this is one of those pictures that I had. I never knew what I was gonna do with it. It's hard to see here. Let me see, is it on this one? No, it's on something else. Let me find it. It's on this. Okay, so this is a picture. At the time she had 3 children. This is their, where they used to live in Connecticut. It was so charming. Oh my goodness, filled with antiques, and it had this fabulous ceiling and this big, huge fireplace and all these funky furniture. Look at that chair. And so this is something she drew, and it says, Christmas greetings from the Scotts. And this was, there's 3 children on there, her 3 oldest at the time. Okay, so that was one, and that came from this. And I'm thinking, oh my word, if you had little ones, you could do some super cute stuff with their drawings. Another drawing that she had was this. This was another Christmas thing. And so it's 3 little kids looking out of their front window, and they had a well in the front of their property. And it says here, Heather, that's my husband's oldest sister, Briar, that's my husband, and Malcolm. That's not the youngest, but one of the younger little boys. So I made that, and I did the other side of my breadboard. Do you guys get the full story of what you can do with this? I mean, there are plenty of amazing stencils out there, seriously. But sometimes there's just something that you want specific. Okay, and if you're joining me right now or have been on for a while, you might want to go back to the beginning, because I tell the whole story, and I tell you how simple it is to operate this and how I, a non-technical kind of a person, could do it with my photocopy machine and my iPad. If you want to look and find out more information about it, I pinned a link at the bottom of the page. It has 2 purple hearts and a little girl in a purple dress with her hand up. And you can find out all the details of how that works. But stay with me now, and you can look at that later. Okay, so let's see, what do I have here? I have a bunch of things in my box. This was an example of something that I did with that verse for my son's wedding. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Here was another little zippered pouch that I made. Here was something I made for Easter last year. I just bought this art. I didn't at the time have the stencil that I wanted, but now I do. This is the bunny. Isn't that cute? Here is my mother-in-law's garlic soup recipe, just stenciled on a Dollar Tree plate. No, this was a Better Homes and Garden plate. That means it came from Walmart, and it was about $1.50 or something. Here's a tea towel that I stenciled with those 2 drawings. There's one, and here's the other. Aren't those precious? And here's a plate that I made with one of those drawings. When I find something that I'm excited about, I go all out. Oh my word. Okay, so then another thing that I wanted to do last year for Mother's Day, I wanted a stencil that said, mothers are like buttons, they hold everything together. Could I find it? Nope. Neither one of the companies that I was involved with had it. And I couldn't find it anywhere. So I found some free clip art online of buttons, and then I used that same app, that Fonto app, to write out, moms are like buttons. Oh yeah, they hold everything together, and I made a bunch of things with this. I made some really cute stuff where I actually put buttons over the top of it. I love buttons. What else do I have in here? Oh, this was my carrots from last year. See, I like the orange that I have this year better. This is a little bright, but just for fun, I added the band of ribbon at the bottom and then the little bow off to the side. Isn't that cute? And here was a tea towel with my son's verse. Then I have a picture, but I'm not sure where it is. I made some Bible verse things because there were specific verses that I wanted, like this one from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. I made this stencil on Fonto. And here was another one that I wanted, Psalm 107:1. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. And I made a bunch of other little art kind of thingamabobs last year using just different things and other stuff, because I made a lot more stencils besides the ones that I've showed you. But, okay, so to me, the real beauty of this whole idea of making your own stencils is the idea that when you can't find what you want, because it doesn't exist out there and there's not a demand in sufficient quantities that would justify a big company making, 500 stencils. Are 500 people going to buy this not lucky, just blessed stencil? Probably not, but this is what I wanted, so I made it. Is a big company going to make a stencil from my mother-in-law's Christmas card? No, absolutely not. But I wanted to make some stuff with this, with her recipe. Last year, as a matter of fact, I had a friend in my community Bible study who was also in leadership, and she wanted to give, I don't know, like 15 gifts to her relatives of her, I believe it was her father's handwritten recipes. There were 2 of them. One was like some apple spice cake, I believe, and I can't even remember what the other one was. So she came over and we made stencils. And then she took the stencils home and she made a ton of tea towels. And she gave those as Christmas gifts. And she was thrilled. That was back when I was still figuring everything out. But once you get the knack of it, you have to do 35 seconds of exposure to the light. No more, no less. Anyways, once you get the hang of it, it's not hard at all. So, if there's something that you've been dying to do, or you feel like you have, let me show you this piece of art that I want to do. I just haven't done it yet. There's not enough hours in the day for all the crafting that I want to do. Anyways, my oldest Noah drew this a bazillion years ago. Look how sweet that is. That's back when he could hardly write. He drew us, that's me, and that's him. I don't know what he has in his hand. I'm not sure, tacos or something. And it says, I love you, Mom. We were at the Biltmore Inn that year, just staying, and this was some of the hotel stationery. And I've had it framed ever since. And I would love to make something like this. Maybe when he has children of his own. Anyways, so you can take practically anything and turn it into a stencil, like, where did I put it? I have too many things out. Like oh, right here. Like old hymns. Like pictures. You just have to convert them to black and white, which that's something I can do on my copier. There's a button that says black and white, and then there's a button for you to either enlarge the image or shrink it. So you can take just about anything that you would like and turn it into a stencil. And it is just so super cool. Where am I gonna put this? Right there. I just absolutely love it. I haven't played with it in a while, and I don't know why. I'm just busy. But so if you've been thinking about something like this, I have a code at the bottom of the page. It's DiyDreaming. There's also the website for IkonArt. If you want to go there, just so you know, I'm an affiliate with them. And that means that I make, you know, a little percentage. I don't know exactly even what it is, on however many sales come into them through people using my code. But my code gives you a discount. So it's a great deal. It's a win-win, win-win-win. And okay, one last thing that I want to say, and then I'm going to quit talking. I don't have all of my images anymore. Something happened and I lost about 2/3 of all the images that I had on my iPad. I don't know. But I do still have the Not Lucky, Just Blessed and the shamrocks. I do still have the carrots, and I do still have the rabbit. And then I have a couple other little things. So if you think you want to do this, just let me know in the comments or send me a personal message, and I'll be glad to send you those images so that you can use them. And you can, you know, try it out with some images that are already made. Okie dokie. Well, let me know what questions you have. Oh, this says at the bottom of the box, unleash your creativity. So anyways, I would definitely recommend this if you can't find what you want. If you have access to all the kinds of stencils and things that you want through the companies that I'm involved with already, then this may not be for you. But if you have that family heirloom stuff, oh my word, it's so cool. Anyways, yeah, lots of you guys are saying you bought one. Lots of people got it for Christmas because I did a lot of things at Christmas time, and I think a lot of people asked for it as their Christmas gifts. Anyways, okay, in case you're wondering how much it costs, this startup kit, I believe, is around $199. And when you use DiyDreaming, you get 15% off, so that saves you around $30. There is sales tax. I'm not sure if they have a free shipping promotion going on right now or not, but just hop over to the website right here. Don't forget my code because you won't get the discount if you don't. And check it out. And you can look at all the other stuff that they have too, because once you get started with the basic kit, then there's other amazing supplies that you can get to. All I have is basically the basic kit, and it's been really fun. Okie dokie. Thank you guys for joining me. I think I'll take a few pictures of things that I have out here, and I'll put that here in the comments, and then I'll just put it on DiyDreaming. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to sprinkle if you have friends that you think this would appeal to. Yeah. All right. I'll see you later. Thanks.